Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. Get to welcome you to a terrific Tuesday. Really excited for my guest who's in the building. We got Phoenix Rockwell-Davidson joining us. We're going to be talking about the Covenant Home Loan. That's right. We're going to be bringing you some more information about this amazing loan. And there's an upcoming event where you can learn more. So I'm excited to dive into it with her a little bit later on in the show. But of course, this is the top of the show, y'all. So you get to dive into it with me. Go ahead and share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from the daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on The Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our TV show, shout out to our crew, because you can also listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network in The Day with Trae. You'll find us on your favorite platform. Now, before I get into it with Phoenix here, I gotta say that there's something really special about the intentionality that we're beginning to see happen when it comes to opening up opportunity for home ownership. So I'm so glad that she's here to talk about it, because there are more and more of us becoming aware of different and alternative avenues to home ownership, like affordable home ownership with land trusts, like Homestead right now. I mean, it's beautiful because they have all of these properties and they are like, look, we are going to make sure that these properties stay affordable for future families to be in these homes. And it's a great tiered step, right? If you're not ready or prepared for full-on market rate home ownership, there are alternatives. And I think now we're starting to see more and more, rent to own properties becoming available. So the idea is that you can be paying your rent and be buying a home at the same time is another opportunity. And then I just want to tap in a little bit, because honestly, it's beautiful to understand that people are saying, look, we understand there is a huge crisis when it comes to home ownership, particularly for those in global majority communities where we call them disenfranchised and all of these different type of words. But I love how somebody is saying, these are frontline communities. Frontline communities are the ones that are often the first up when it comes to cutting different expenses, and the ones who have been the first ones that were, impacted by things like redlining and restrictive loans and all of that. So there is a push of something that's happening, brewing within communities across the country to open up these opportunities for folks that have been on those front lines to become home owners. And we talk about this direct connection between home ownership and wealth building. And it is true. We see it with real estate properties now. They're always growing. And so the opportunities that are available to you out there who are looking to become homeowners, there are other opportunities, y'all. There's also a way that you get to build your credit just from paying your rent. So there are more and more products and services that are coming about to showcase, hey, if you have great rental history, that can actually aid you when you are going for a loan. So it's beautiful because there's a plethora of different opportunities for folks out there to not only become homeowners, but to also take advantage of some of these amazing programs that are offered right here in the state of Washington for you to learn more, dive in, and honestly take that leap towards home ownership. It's also great because in our community, we have a lot of knowledgeable real estate agents who are at the ready to help guide you through this process. So it's great because Phoenix is one of them. And up next, after this break, Phoenix Rockwell-Davidson will be talking about this Covenant Home Loan. It is amazing, y'all. And Washington State is the first state in the nation to enact a loan like this. So we'll be learning more about that and an amazing event that you could come to this week to dive in a bit deeper and get the resources that you need. So you don't want to miss this. I promise you, great information coming up right after this short break, y'all. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Confused about Medicare? Solid Ground statewide health insurance benefits advisor, Sheba, are well-trained volunteers who can help you understand your Medicare rights and options. It's free, unbiased, and confidential. We offer webinars and individual phone consultations. For more info, go to solid-ground.org/Medicare-info.
Empowering the community one connection at a time. ConnectWA is your partner in finding the support you need. Download the app today and experience the difference that a connected community can make. Learn more at eec-wa.org/ConnectWA-app.
There's something magical, alchemical about being an artist. Being able to create, mold, envision, enlighten. This is a wonderful task. That's why I do it. My name is Joyce Shea Scott, and I'm having my 50-year retrospective walk a mile in my dreams. Come on down.
My hair is definitely unique in the rodeo industry, and not a lot of girls wear their natural hairstyle. And since I do, it makes it a lot harder to find equipment that fits my head the right way. When I speak about being unique, that's what I mean is why should we have to change our hairstyle for safety maybe? Why can't they create something for us to be ourselves in and still be safe on the trails? You don't have to change the way you look because you're beautiful the way you are.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Phoenix. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, this is some phenomenal information when we're talking about the Covenant Home Loan. And we had a guest on some time ago when it was really just coming out and people were starting to get, hear about this and like, already the fact that it can be up to 150,000, people were like, all ears were perking up, right? Tell us a little bit more about this Covenant Home Loan.
Right. So just big picture, it's up to $150,000 towards people's down payment assistance or their closing costs. And this is interest-free money, which is amazing. And it's when you compare it to other loans that are out there trying to help people, first-time home buyers, it's much more money. And the fact that it's interest-free for up to 30 years is really, I think, indicative of how important this loan is, because this was created for people of color. So Americans, Black people, Asians, Pacific Islanders, Asian, Indian, and Hispanic people, because we have policymakers that were working with the Black Housing Initiative. So Jamila Taylor, Frank Chop, John Lovick. And what they did is they went back and they looked at Washington State and they looked at the history and the laws that were created by our statesmen and the money that our taxes paid towards discriminating against people of color so that they couldn't own land, they couldn't get citizenship, land that they worked was taken from them. There was redlining and, there was, even in the 1800s, like if you were Black, you just couldn't live in Washington. You get 49 lashings if you were here, and then every 6 months, if you were still here, you'd get it again. So, looking at some of these things in history and understanding that the state played a part in this, the tax dollars supported this. This is why we're able to fight for this initiative and why, that it's manifested today, because this was a reality. And so I just think that is just, it's not reparations, but it's a wonderful step forward. And the fact that Washington State is the only state that's done it, I think it's really important to get this message out, because if we don't if we don't utilize these opportunities, then it's going to be harder to keep that momentum going when we're continuing to fight for equality. And I think that it really does help, right? So getting that type of money is a game changer.
No, it really is. I think for some folks to understand the particulars, because, we hear about programs like this, and the truth of the matter is that even though now it's going to all folks from the global majority, and a lot of times still Black people end up not really receiving a lot of these programs. And we can look at that throughout the history. So I think there has to be some level of intentionality. That's why I'm glad that events like yours are happening, because I think we need a direct connection to understanding the parameters and the regulations and the requirements around this. Tell us a little bit more about what that kind of looks like on that end.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is really important. And I think, as well, when we're looking at who brought this opportunity to the global majority, the Black Housing Initiative, the representatives, 2 of them were Black, right? And then one of them was a supporter. But a lot of times when these things are created and fought for, everyone's, benefiting from it, but it's people that are Black that are fighting for that and really at the front lines, as you were talking about before. So I'm basically hosting this event at the Northwest African American Museum because I felt that was the perfect framework for something like this. Because the history, I think we should use that as an inspiration, right? And we, sometimes I think, these opportunities come and there's so much red tape to actually getting the loan or getting the grant that it deters a lot of people. So I wanted to put this event and co-host it with the African American Museum and bring in a lot of people that will help people to jump through these hoops. So some of the just basic qualifying factors are, so we listed the types of people that can get the loan. And on top of that, you have to be currently living in Washington. You have to be a first-time home buyer. And a first-time home buyer can also be someone that just has not bought or sold a home in 3 years. But they also have some other leeway there for people that are maybe living in a home already that is under duress, or single mothers, or maybe someone that's in a marriage, owns a home in a marriage, but is needing to leave that marriage under duress. So coming to this event and being able to connect with the people that are, all of the resources that are helping people navigate, some of these questions of, do I qualify, I think is really important. So we will have people there that will help people understand if their specific situation would qualify them. Another qualifying factor would be you have to have had family roots in Washington dating back to at least April 1968. So we're inviting a group, the Black Historical Society. They're going to be there. They've been very instrumental in helping people to document their family history. Some people wouldn't know that. You might get a realtor or a loan officer that just knows about the loan, but doesn't really know how to help you jump through all the hoops and navigate to actually, getting you that loan. So we're going to have those resources available as well. Another factor would be you can only make up to 100% of the area median income. So we will have the data there. Hey, what county do you live in? This is what the 100% median income is, right? So we're going to have a lot of resources there for people, and food and drinks.
Yeah.
So that'll be good too. And, it'll just be good energy. We'll have, a segment where we talk about the history. We'll have a financial planner, credit repair people there, so that people can also learn not just about the history and how that can inspire them, to really go for this. But we're having, a financial planner. How do you leverage this asset that you're now invested in? so that you can build that generational wealth.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in a position where your credit, needs help in order to get the loan. We'll have that resource available for people. We also have a group there that they come out of the Washington University, but they have been very instrumental in looking at what's happening present day and how there's still covenants that are written into HOAs, into titles that people have on their homes that would prevent Black people from living in those areas or from purchasing that home. They're still discovering these things that are lingering around even today. So I think that this information is extremely important. Seeing that these legislators that brought this in were Black people, to inspire people. Like, if you are someone that wants to work in government, this is why it's so important. These were government laws that prevented people from home ownership, and they are government laws that are creating opportunities. So we really do, as annoying as politics is, we really do need representation.
Yeah.
So I think, having those images and understanding like this is how these things happen, I think will be inspiring. So we'll have that for people. And that's kind of what's going to happen that day.
You're doing a lot, and you packed a lot into this day, but it's because it all plays a major factor in people understanding it and being able to walk away with a strong kind of plan, sounds like.
Absolutely.
To getting access to this down payment assistance or closing cost assistance. Now, we talk about a loan, but we're saying 0 interest for up to 30 years. Most folks have a 30-year mortgage on their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And so this loan plays a major factor for folks that just get that door open and then, find a property that they can realistically afford. But also that down payment assistance can lower the cost of their monthly mortgage. Tell us a little bit about that kind of ratio.
So you have the assistance, right? But you can also bring in your own finances towards that. So if you have savings as well, you can still apply for this assistance as well. And so, yes, it lowers the cost. So when you have up to 20% of your down payment, that will prevent you from having to pay insurance, and that can lower the overall cost. So right now we're seeing in the state of Washington, it's very, very difficult for people to get into a home because it's so expensive. I mean, we're right on par with New York, California. We are one of the most expensive places to live in the world. This state, I love so much because I feel that within the Black community, there is so much support. A Black media channel, right? Haru, with his spiritual things that he's bringing to help us grow and to heal. I mean, there's so many resources, and there's such a strong collaborative nature here. I want to attract people to come here. So even if you own a home, if you have family members that are living in another state, let them know that, hey, you ever thought about coming back to Washington? Because now you might be able to get a home here. Some people are moving out of state. They're getting displaced again because they think, I can't ever buy a home here. How can I grow my family here? But this is an opportunity for people to do that. This is someone handing you up to $150,000 and saying, just take it. Use this to stabilize your family, to build equity, to get tax deductions, to build appreciation. And this is all cash that you can use to build wealth for your family over time. And it's like a friend or a family member just giving you that money, right? And saying, hey, here's a little help, here's a little assistance. And I think that's really incredible.
Well, during the event, I think for me, questions arise around repayment, right? So I'm sure y'all will have the information there for folks to understand what it looks like for them to be repaying it, because it's not a grant, it is a loan. So people need to understand that. And when you talk about zero interest in 30 years, there's still a payment that you have to do for this loan. But I'm sure y'all will be giving all that information too.
All of the details.
So, of course, I got to give you time, Phoenix, because now people are out there like, how do I get to this event? Please tell me all the details. You look right there, let them know exactly all the details and how they're there to come to this amazing event y'all have going on.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Phoenix Rockwell-Davidson, your homegirl in real estate, and I'm inviting you to come out December 5th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. We are going to be meeting at the Northwest African American Museum to discuss the Covenant Home Loan Program. This home loan is offering up to $150,000 interest-free up to 30 years for first-time home buyers, and there's also some other people that can get that loan. So this loan is specifically for the global majority, and I just really encourage you to come out, even if you own a home. This is the type of information that you want to share with your community. This is a game changer type of opportunity for people in getting in the door to home ownership and generational wealth building. Okay, so I did bring a couple stats that I wanted to share, and I apologize for writing it down. I know it's very novice, but I don't want to get it messed up. But these stats, I think, will help inspire people to understand the importance of taking this opportunity. So when we're looking at just people that own homes versus renters, people that own homes have 1,469% more wealth than renters. One of the reasons I think that is because just staying in place, not being displaced, moving around, like there's such a cost to that. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, the equity and appreciation and the tax benefits that you get from home ownership over time. I think that really plays a big part in it. When we're looking at home ownership in Washington, whites compared to blacks there's 69% of whites own a home, only 34% of blacks own a home. So when we're looking at just net worth, whites are at $286,200 on average. That's their net worth. Where people of color, the global majority, we're sitting at $67,600, right? So this is a step in the right direction, I think, of stabilizing people. When we're looking at jobs, like being able to fight for better pay, like we have, property taxes that we have to pay, we have homes that we have to pay for our families. Home ownership does that for people. I think it gives them more leverage. When we're looking at the history and the fact that there was laws written that allowed white settlers, didn't matter where you were from, a white settler could come in. If you were one person, you get 340 acres of land that was stolen from the natives. If you were a white couple, you'd get 640 acres of land just given to you. You don't have to pay this loan back. You don't have to give the land back, right? So when we're like, oh, thanks for the $150,000 that we do have to pay back, it's not a lot, right? It's kind of laughable, actually, but it's something that's moving us in the right direction, and that's why we need to look at our ancestors and how hard they fought for us to get to where we are today, and really take these opportunities and continue to run with them. I see Washington being a place that is an exceptional place for Black people to come and to migrate to and to live and to grow because of the things that you've been growing here with your TV program and just all of the people that you've been nurturing and pouring into. So I really just strongly encourage people to come out and to get the knowledge, right? And to use this knowledge to inspire them to continue to grow here and root here and preserve their family lineage.
Yeah. I'm glad that you gave us a second there for some of those facts. Thanks for sharing that, Phoenix. And thanks again for pulling this event together so people could get more information. Appreciate you coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Wow, y'all. I'm going to wrap up this whole thing right after this short break. Lots of great information for us to sink into. You don't want to miss the wrap up. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Empowering the community one connection at a time. ConnectWise, your partner in finding the support you need. Download the app today and experience the difference that a connected community can make. Learn more at eec-wa.org/connectwa-app.
My hair is definitely unique in the rodeo industry, and not a lot of girls wear their natural hairstyle. And since I do, it makes it a lot harder to find equipment that fits my head the right way. When I speak about being unique, that's what I mean is why should we have to change our hairstyle for safety maybe? Why can't they create something for us to be ourselves in and still be safe on the trails? You don't have to change the way you look because you're beautiful the way you are.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Visit pnb.org.
MLK Lobby Day brings the power of community voices to Olympia. Join Poverty Action as we advocate for policies that will clear the way out of poverty and tell legislators what is most important to you. Save the date, January 20th, 2025. Sign up to stay updated at povertyaction.com/newsletters.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to give a huge shout out to my guest, Phoenix, for joining us and giving us some great information about this upcoming event to learn more about the Covenant Home Loan. This is definitely a phenomenal opportunity, and I can't agree with her more that, of course, when we look at the history, maybe it feels like a drop in the bucket, but it's something that allows folks to get started. And the fact that Washington State is the first state in the nation to do something like this, it always makes me know that we have the opportunity to lead. And when we have, folks who are leaders, our elected officials, when we are following up with them and making sure they understand our needs, they're able to truly represent us in the best of ways. And bringing something like this out, allowing people to get to that threshold of home ownership to begin to build that generational wealth. I heard in this amazing conference, he said, we need to move from generational wealth to dynastic wealth. And I thought, wow, now we're talking about hundreds of years. And a great example was of these historical families that we know. They always think about the Rockefellers or something. The kids who are part of the Rockefeller family now, they all know about that first Rockefeller that really helped to make sure that they have the life that they live today. And these are the kinds of ideas that we get to start really thinking about, particularly in global majority communities where, we've just been happy to get from one generation to the next. But now we get to think about our lineage, right? The legacy that we are leaving, and moving from even just thinking of generational wealth, which may only last a generation, maybe two, right? To something called dynastic wealth, y'all. So get up on it. Get to this event happening this week. You definitely don't want to miss it. Right there at the Northwest African American Museum. Get the information, even if you're not sure if you qualify, if you are a homeowner already, there's definitely some great resources that you can tap into and be inspired, y'all. I tell you every time, when you're inspired, you do something with that inspiration. Maybe you can inspire someone else. So if it's not for you, share the information with others so that we can all understand all the facets of this amazing Covenant Home Loan. Thanks so much for watching today. I'll be back with y'all tomorrow. Until then, at 11 a.m. Peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.